Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Planet Football, the football podcast where football talk never clocks out. A little bit of a change today. Adam could not make it, so it's just going to be Riley and I, and of course, our special guest, Clayton. Welcome
Oh,
back,
Baton.
Clayton.
Thanks for having me back. I really enjoy this.
Awesome. Let's get started with last week's hot takes, Riley, if you want to take us from there.
We all failed. Are we shocked? None of them were right, but I think we all just three went random because Adam's like the
Went
Bucks or
crazy,
the
yeah.
Panthers will beat the Bucks, and then they didn't, and then I was like the Dolphins has upset the Patriots, and then they didn't, and then who did you choose, Chris? I can't remember.
My hot take, I think, was that the 49ers were going to win, even though I said specifically
Ah!
that statistically they really shouldn't. I had this gut feeling, you know.
Yeah.
And
Um,
now the Hawks are the number one seed. Go!
that's
Well,
true.
it is what it is. 0 for 3. We're all still tied at 2 for 9. That's
For now.
for now.
Next year is going to be the opposite. We're going to be just banging out hot take after hot
Oh, I
take.
know.
You'll see.
I know. All right. So we still have I still have the CFP segment going first today. So we're gonna go ahead and start with that. My fellow CFB host who knows a lot like me is actually not here. So this will be fun. I had two segments for us. Mainly, it was a talk about the transfer portal and a talk about the playoffs. Obviously, we had a banger of a game between Miami and Ole Miss last night, and we'll get to that in
Hmm.
just a minute. But transfer portal opened up. Obviously, it's chaotic. Players are flying everywhere. Everything's happening. But the one thing I want to say is I never knew how fun it was. As a Clemson fan, this is the first time we have been insanely active in the portal, and it is actually really fun. So I like it a lot. Um, I don't know if any of y'all kept up with it, other than me like mentioning stuff to y'all here and there or anything like that. But
Uh,
it's just
no, the portal not so much. I've been trying to pay attention to the like the actual playoff games that are happening in college football, but I don't know enough to really, other than what you were showing me and like the different ratings, and you were kind of explaining to me how they rank the teams,
yeah,
or like and how those changes affect their scores. I
yep.
still don't quite get it though, if I'm being
Yeah,
completely honest with
it's
you.
it's still a little iffy. It's like they just take the average of players leaving and the averages of players coming in and put you in a box because it's like, but it still makes no sense to me because you'll have Clemson. They had 8 players coming in and 9 players going out, and then like their average coming in was like 75 and their average going out was like 73. And then they were at like 20 behind. I think it was BYU who had 0 coming in and 13 going out, and I'm like, however the heck that
Yeah.
works, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just happy, and I like the players we're getting. That's going to lead me into this long-winded segment I had listed out for Clemson. They went into the portal with a fury, and they pretty much, I can see the strategy they're doing. It was, even though the offense was a big issue, the defense was a bigger issue. They've just sold out on defense. They're like going all in on defense. Dabo's strategy was pretty much give Tom Allen the reins and the money and let Tom Allen go get what he needs. And that's what he's done. He's brought in 2 safeties, 2 really good non-power force safeties who put up great stats for them. One was even first team All Sun Belt and everything else like that with 6 interceptions. Uh, and then he
Yeah, you
brought
were telling me
in,
about him earlier.
yep, he brought
Yesterday, I
in
think.
two cornerbacks. One that he recruited to Penn State when he was up there, and then now he's down here with us. And then that Auburn quarterback Donovan Starr. He's emphasized speed on the back end. He's like speed, speed, speed. Clemson's defense was too slow, and it's getting burnt and it's hurting. And then I'm like, he's emphasizing speed.
It's
Uh,
attitude as well, right? You were telling
Attitude,
me about
yes.
what they were saying.
Now, I loved Cleo Barnes and I love Ricardo Jones as much as the next guy, and I loved watching them play. But they definitely had an attitude issue and they had an effort issue that can be seen on the field. I mean, like Ricardo a little less because I think Ricardo played great, and but I don't think his coverage style was fitting for a Tom Allen defense because a lot of these guys were God Wes, our former defense coordinator recruit. Barnes, I loved him for so long, but this year it just seems he just flat out, I don't know, didn't care. I can't really say it. There's this one time in the Duke game where Dabo's like absolutely chewing them out, and he's making a smirk to the camera, and I'm like, yeah, that's just not what you want to see out of your player. It annoyed me. And then of course you saw later in the games he kept getting run over or beat, and the coverage, it was just bad. It was just bad, and I think they're good players, but I think they just need a new
Mm.
scenery and stuff like that. But yeah, speed and attitude. The what he taught to the safeties, or what he taught to like bring in the safeties, is if they throw it, pick it. If they hit it, or if they run it, stick it. So pick it or stick it. It's the mentality of you're a safety. You do both. You don't specialize in one. You do both, and that really spoke to them. That's why Corey Myrick and Jerome Carter III both committed. And then, of course, we needed more secondary help, so we brought in Donovan Starr and Elliott Washington. Washington, a really solid corner out of Penn State, and then Starr, speedster out of Auburn, who didn't get much playing time over there, but will for us. Um, what's it called? But it's just speed. It's you got to fix the speed on the back end. You have Ashton Hampton returning on the other side, and you fix the speed. The big name we got was Luke Farrelly. Luke Farrelly is the ACC Defensive Freshman of the Year and a very solid linebacker. Pairing him with Sammy Brown is going to be insane next year. And then they brought in two defensive linemen, Courtney Kelly from West Georgia and what's his face, Marcus Strong from Oklahoma. They're going to fill in up the middle and help out Amir Adams and Vic Burley and everything else like that. They did yesterday also receive a commitment from defensive end Landon Merritt from Colorado. Solid defensive end. I think he was a PFF freshman All American. So all around, big defensive class. Would like to see them get offense, but it doesn't really look like they're gonna do anything with offense, and it just looks like they're going all in on defense. But
Yeah, well, you guys have already, but you correct me if I'm wrong. You fired your offensive coordinator from last season, right?
yes,
And you're
Garrett Riley
bringing
is
someone in.
gone.
You're bringing someone. Now it's someone that's been at Clemson before, correct?
Yes, we
Or
brought in Chad Morris. Chad Morris
okay,
is a former Clemson offense coordinator. He was with us from 2011 to 2014. 3 out of the 4 years, we boasted a top 20 offense, but every year we had a 1,000 yard receiver and a 1,000 yard rusher. But he's, I feel he's a great recruiter because he brought in the likes of Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins, Martavis Bryant, Andre Ellington, Taj Boyd, Sharon Peak,
so he's
Jordan
got a really
Leggett,
good eye for talent.
Deshaun Watson. He does. He has a really good eye for talent. I will say that because he brought in all those guys and had our offense clicking. But it's just a question if he's the same coach because it's been 10 years, over 10 years since then, 12, and he's had stints where he's looked bad and then he's taken a year off. So we'll see about that. We can get more into the Clemson offense. Clayton, do you have any Coastal Carolina things you know about?
Not that I've really been paying attention to. I know they replaced Tim Beck way back in like December, I think, like shortly after I was on the podcast the first time. Um,
Yeah,
but
I've
not much really. I know we got a good uh recruit recruiting or a decently good quarterback that we recruited from, I believe, Maryland. And he looks pretty promising, but we'll have to see how
yeah,
Coastal does with a new coach and all the freshmen that they're getting,
yeah,
because that school keeps getting way too big.
yeah. I haven't seen much. They're not too many. This Coastal's not as big in my news feed as like Carolina, Clemson, or the other big schools. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess switching back to the Clemson talk, it's they're gonna try to bring back the tempo offense he had, so it's go fast and everything like that. And I guess after Morris evaluated the quarterback room, he decided out of the four guys we got, one of them will win the job, and he'll be fine with that. We have a really solid receiving core. We have solid tight ends. Running backs I think are very underrated. O line's a big question mark, and then so is quarterback, and then play calling's a question mark. So offensively, I'm very worried about next year. It's going to be a wait and see type of thing. There's not much I can do other than just support my team. And then defensively, I think it'll be a turnaround. I think he saw what he wanted. He went out and got them. He's still getting players for this class, and it's just Tom Allen really wanted to fix that defense, and we'll see if he can. Hopefully he can, and then you know, in my opinion, if we can actually fix the defense, you don't need a stellar quarterback. You just need a good quarterback. You don't need a. You just need someone who can. Oh my God! Oh my God! Sorry, I didn't mean to react to that. Big play in
Oh
the
my
Indiana.
goodness, I see it now too.
Big
Whoa,
play in the Indiana Oregon
Okay.
game.
whoa,
Um,
whoa!
Oregon's quarterback just fumbled the ball and Indiana picked it up. First and goal for them. That was
Ah,
kind of crazy.
shit.
And it was
But they're
really
deep in
after.
Indiana territory, so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Or no, it's deep in Oregon territory. They're right on your
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
doorstep.
they didn't get
They
far.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
you're
they
right.
are right on your doorstep. Um.
Fuck.
Oh my God! It just hit off the
Yeah,
run. The running
baby.
back just went to the wrong side.
Ooh.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks for Oregon, because I don't see. There's no way. Now Oregon's defense did have a big stop last drive. They almost did the same thing to Mendoza. He's just like Mendoza's lucky he recovered his own fumble. All right, back to what I was saying. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about these two games in just a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a
Um,
minute.
I'm just yapping about Clemson football right now. It was meant to be a two-man segment between me and Adam, but obviously the fraud ain't here. So,
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
um, the contract for Morris is incentive based, so a lot of his money is going to come from like making the ACC championship, winning the ACC, making the playoffs, all that type of stuff. And I like that, but it's just I don't know. If we can fix the defense and have at least a middle or slightly above average offense next year, we should be hopefully maybe back to an 8-4 or 9-3. But if you see us dip again, I hate to say, I think it's the end of a Dabo era. I don't see them giving leeway for a slow decline, a bad season, and then a bad season in a row, even after you've adapted. So it's like you're banking your
Yeah.
job on Chad Morris, and I don't know if I would, but who knows? Our offense was abysmal in 2010. He hires Morris. Morris turns it around, and the rest was history for Clemson from there on. We'll see. I'll support him, ride or die. Morris is my coordinator. I'm not going to be against him. Like Garrett was. I just near the end, it was like it's time to go. We've had 3 years of this and no change. So, and if there's still no change, then the issue is Dabo. It's plain and simple. And I hate to say it, but let me end that Clemson segment right there. Let's talk about
Yeah,
these
let's talk
games.
about the college football playoffs.
Touchdown Indiana.
Yep, looks like that touchdown.
And
Yeah.
Oregon lost the game,
Yeah, I
Well,
fear
just like that.
Indiana's too good of a well-rounded team. They'll just out. They won't. Oregon will claw that. Like they'll stay probably like 1 to 2 scores away, not out of it. But Indiana's just too good to let a team claw back in like that. I think they're just so well-rounded. Actually, I hate to say it. I think they might, if they make the Natty, put a smacking on Miami. Because my biggest thing with Miami is Beck, when he gets pressured, can sometimes be turnover prone, and Indiana's defense is very good at that. So we'll see, though. I could be wrong. I think I'm hoping for a great game. I actually don't really care either side who wins. All four of these teams that were left, I'm fine with any one of them. I don't have a vendetta against any of them.
Yeah.
I don't hate any of them, and I would have been perfectly fine with all of them. So it's just a good year for college football playoffs and everything like that.
Yeah, I think Indiana's my choice going forward right now. I mean, assuming they win this game, but even not assuming they win this game, I'm picking them to win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And don't get us wrong, Oregon's a great team. They're the other most well-rounded team, but it's got that air of the feel, like the feeling in the air that it's Indiana's time. They've
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just that pick six they got to start the game against Oregon today, it felt a lot
It
to
set the
me.
tone.
It felt a lot to me back in 2018 when Clemson was playing Bama in the national championship, the game they beat them down in. It was a pick six to start the year, and I was like, or pick six to start the game. I'm like, huh. I expected the game to be a major shootout. It looked like that at first, but that pick six set the tone on how we were going to play, and Indiana did that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Miami's a solid defense, a really solid defense. I'm gonna love to watch that Miami defensive line match up against that Indiana offensive line. It's gonna be something to watch. If Indiana makes it, who knows? We could be calling it too early. Watch Oregon. Don't count Oregon out. They're still a great team. So a lot of football left. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I meant to mention this to you earlier today, Riley, but we haven't spoken. And I'll mention more of it later when we get to the NFL segment, but it is college relevant, especially for these games.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy who knows practically nothing about football, professional in college, and I don't know that much about college football. He knows practically nothing. So naturally, yesterday I asked him to pick for all the games and give me a reason as to why. Um, he's already wrong about Ole Miss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, but he did pick Indiana, and according to him, because their star quarterback, Indiana Jones, is going to win them the game.
Indiana
So
Jones.
let's
Yeah.
keep our eyes open for that.
Yeah, that's his name. Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones.
trust me, when we get to the NFL picks later, I've got to share them with you because there are some wild takes here. Uh, I think I think you'll
Yeah.
find them to be quite funny. I told them to Clayton earlier. We were having a little bit of
Yeah,
a
they
laugh
were
at
pretty
them.
wild.
It'll be interesting to hear. It'll be very interesting to
Yeah,
hear.
but it's always interesting to hear from someone because obviously my breadth of knowledge, especially in the world of college football, is very limited. But to hear from somebody that has absolutely no exposure to that world
Yeah.
whatsoever, that perspective is always fun. And it's the same for the NFL. And I think that one's going to be, since those games haven't happened yet, I'm excited to share those thoughts. But as for these games, the one that's already happened, I feel like we haven't talked too much about yet, is the Ole Miss and Miami game.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
a banger of
what
a
a
game.
game!
Banger of a game, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely
It was very
crazy.
entertaining. Yeah,
Miami started off very strong in that game too. They looked like they were poised to stay in front, but I feel they could have pulled away earlier in the game if it's just Beck. Like he's a good quarterback, but some of those throws he's missing, like those times when Malachi Tony kept getting open. Chris, do you know who Malachi Tony is?
Not really.
Malachi
I
Tony
mean,
is in a sensational freshman wide receiver for Miami.
yeah.
He's the ACC Freshman of the Year, insanely good. Um, little brother of Kadarius Tony.
Oh, wonderful. Does he have better hands?
I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be the better player. And that's
Okay.
a lot to say because Tony was insanely good in college himself. Tony was a stud in college. Like if you watch Tony at Florida, you'd be shocked at how bad he flopped in the NFL. But his brother is off to an even better start, and he looks so good. He's just a game changer and a difference maker. He had the um, he had the
He's only a
touchdown that
freshman,
put them
though.
in front. He is only a freshman.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy. And Miami is one of those programs that rebuilt themselves completely through the portal. Because me and Adam brought up this hypothetical. Uh, Miami's quarterback last year was none other than Cam Ward. And I can't help but thinking if Cam Ward had this year's Miami team, they would be undefeated in almost a no doubt to like go toe for toe with Indiana in the national championship. Because Cam Ward's team went 9-3, but their defense was horrendously bad. Like I mean,
Mm.
horrendously bad. They were given a, there. It was
And
like
then,
the Cowboys defense, but then
yeah.
Miami went straight full focus of defense in the portal to rebuild it, and my God, I hate to interrupt that, but I just watched a
Yep.
defensive
The
lineman
sack.
for Indiana power through two Oregon offensive linemen. That was insane. They have
You know,
trenches, man. Trenches win you
seeing
the
that kind of
games.
reminded me a little bit of something I wanted to mention about last night's game with Miami. Those guys on defense, they just looked like the superior athletes. Like they were
Yes.
so fast and so big and like so overpowering. And seeing that play right there,
You
first
know,
thing that came to my head. It's
you,
just like,
you know what I want to say. Despite all that, Ole Miss insane. Oh, another sack. Insanely good. Like I mean, Chambliss and that offense, they had a great game plan. It was perfect too. Ruben Bain Jr. biggest threat. Ruben Bain and Mesinor, those biggest threats on the ends. You know, we talked about it. We talked about how they can wreck a game by sandwiching your quarterback. That's why Ole Miss went fast. They went like extremely fast. Like it's ball snap, balls out. Like you can't
yeah,
let them get
you
to
have no
you.
choice.
You can't let them establish that, and it worked most of the game and everything like that. And then they started to pick up a little more after I think a cornerback, a safety, and Mesinor all went out for Miami, and they started to pick up. And that's not they came back in too, and they still played good against them
Yeah.
because man, Ole Miss had a team. If only their stupid head coach decided he wanted to stay with them. Who knows what they could have done? But or
Yeah.
who knows if they'd done it without him? You know, if they would have been worse with him. You know, who knows if they were playing with that chip on their shoulder and that's what drove them to be really good.
Yeah,
But
I
they
mean, we got a whole bunch of Lane Kiffin drama too. Did we talk
hmm.
about that last week already?
We talked a little bit of it, and then we had a whole new situation with that Washington quarterback unfold, which it looks like it's going to be resolved because the Washington quarterback decided to return to Washington and play for them. But the coach Jed Fish already said that he's going to have to regain all trust from the team, and that's going to be a hard thing to do in an off season. So
Yeah, I would think so.
it'll be interesting. But no, trenches. That seems to be the key. Trenches wins you games this year, and I think it's always been
Yeah.
like that. I don't think it's
I
ever
think yeah,
changed.
that's always been that's the case in the NFL as well.
But it's also
Like,
like a lot more on the bigger stage. It's being noticed finally because Miami's D line is dominating. They're like if they would have just stuck with running the ball instead of trying to force throws with Carson Beck yesterday, they would have probably won a lot easier than it looked because they were averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry every time. Their O line was dominating that Ole Miss front 90% of the time. Ole Miss did win some of the battles, but it's just I don't know why they ran away from the run sometimes. But who knows? It ended up working out. They won the game in a thriller, and it was nice. I feel like I've been yapping for 90% of this podcast.
that's because you have. But you have good information to share, so it's not so bad, you know?
Yeah, and we're starting with college football, and y'all are more
Yeah,
knowledgeable
and Adam's
NFL
not here to
wise,
Yeah.
comparable to me. Like I'm deep into both, so it's like, yeah. Um,
do we want to go into the fraud alert even though Adam's not here and then move on, or do you
well,
want to
I
talk more?
told I told Clayton that the fraud alert segment will literally just be we're putting Adam on it because he didn't show up
Yes.
and he had a work thing and he told us last second. So Adam is on the fraud. We can move to NFL in just a second because
Yep. Adam is on Fraud Watch. That's all
there's
that
one more
matters.
thing I wanted to say and I'm trying to
Also the
remember what it
Broncos.
was. Oh yes, this ties back to my Clemson thing. Clemson, the reason they took a step back as bad as they did this year is because our trenches took the step back. Our D line wasn't as dominant as they should have been, and our O line just completely fell flat. And obviously, that just ruins a team. So, trenches, trenches, trenches. That's it. It's like as simple as that. I'll put it this way: when Clemson had Brent Venables, we had an okay secondary, but our trenches were so good on defense, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It's like we could rush four and get pressure. We could rush three and get pressure. We could send everybody, and it just it wouldn't matter. That was the key of Brent Venables was that front seven between the linebackers and the defensive line. They had to be dominant, or you're not winning on
Yeah.
defense. So, all right. That being said, we'll end the college football segment here. We will talk about the Indiana Oregon game as we go. Indiana primed, looking decent right now because they just stopped Oregon again with a couple of sacks, and then
They got all the momentum right now.
they do. So Oregon needs a big defensive stop here, and we'll
Yeah.
keep updated on
Yeah,
that.
if Indiana marches up the field and scores again, I think the game's pretty
Yeah,
much
you go up 28-7, and they get ball at half. Oh, whew, sorry,
yeah,
Oregon.
that'd be a real problem.
Uh,
Uh,
unfortunately, to the one Oregon fan in the chat, one of my buddies, one of my buddies said something in the chat, and one of my other group chats that was so funny. He said Oregon is going to choke like they do every year in the playoffs, and one of my other buddies responded, "It's what they've done since y'all were in elementary school." And I'm like, "Yeah, unfortunately."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too
But
bad.
it is what it is.
Do we want to try to give Fraud Alert a little bit of love other than just putting Adam
We
on it? Do we
can.
have anybody that we want to watch out for this week that we think might uh
The Rams.
The Rams.
oh that's they should win. They definitely like that's a upset alert right there. Like what is that? Like if the Rams lose that would be crazy.
I actually want
I
to
think
put.
that's just your personal
We
bias.
all made our picks, and we
Maybe
all
a
pretty
little
much
bit.
picked the same people. I want to put the Bears on there because if the
Really?
Bears lose their
Okay.
wild card game to this dilapidated, diminished Packers team, like
Yeah.
what are you doing?
At home
You've
too.
at home, yeah. Judging from how badly the defense is injured and how good your defense is, you should
Don't forget
have a
about
fairly better
Trayvon Diggs
game.
over there now.
No,
I
I'll
know
forget
how
about
much,
him. I'll forget about him until the receiver's 20 yards behind him catching a touchdown. But it is what it is. Ooh, deep shot,
Nice
touchdown,
hit.
Indiana. Oh,
Oh
boy.
wow. Mendoza. Yep.
Mendoza, the Raiders' Lord and Savior, coming next year.
Man.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy.
I'm so sorry, Clayton. Now, again, there's still a lot of football left, and it's only 3 touchdowns. This is college football. No, no. I'm gonna say this. No lead is ever safe in college football. But that being said, I fear for Miami next week if Indiana just pours it on against Oregon this week because Oregon is a really well-rounded team, good defense, great offense, and if Indiana's putting it on them like they are now, Miami's defense has to play better than they ever have, and that's hard to say because they've been playing insanely good these last 2 games. All right,
Yeah.
back to NFL.
Anyway,
Back to fraud
moving on.
alert. Um,
Uh,
yeah, I got the
I literally
Bears.
just had it. Hold on.
I got the Bears mainly, and then I could even say maybe the Patriots against the Chargers.
For me, it's the Eagles. Eagles are on fraud watch.
So I won't
Uh,
even say that. I think we kind of know the Eagles aren't as good of a team as they usually are. They're going through a bit
yes,
of their
but I think a
struggles.
lot of people are still going into this like, oh, they're at home. They're the 3 seed.
And
Like,
then they get an unfortunate matchup against a really
or
good Niners team that's been hot lately.
are they the 3 seed or the 2 seed?
They're the 3 seed.
Who the yeah,
Eagles.
they're
3,
the
right?
3 seed. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's in the NFC. It's Seahawks, Bears,
And then Eagles. Okay.
Philly, and then Panthers.
Yeah, no, but every every piece of me wants the Eagles to lose in the first round. I don't believe in them. I am biased. I'm not even like it's not that I'm necessarily rooting for the 49ers, uh, but I'm really just rooting against Philadelphia. Um, I'm not gonna hide it anymore. I mean, I haven't hit it this entire time, but if the Eagles do win and they win comfortably, then it's a different game. But I don't think their offense has it. Even
Well,
against a very injured 49ers defense, I have no faith in the Eagles offense
they have a
whatsoever.
solid
Their
defense.
defense is good.
They have a very solid defense. It's probably going to be a lower scoring game considering Salah's always going to have a game plan against tougher opponents. He's going to probably have
Yeah.
it planned up. He knows he's got to blitz Hurts and then keep him in the pocket, and then
And I think
always watch
Shanahan
Saquon
can
in the
scheme up
flats.
an offense against
Oh yeah,
Philadelphia.
Shanahan is one of
I
those
think he can
guys
do
who could
that.
probably scheme up an offense against almost anyone,
Yeah.
except for the Seahawks, because oh
Their
oh
defense is just too
oh
good
oh
right
boy
now.
oh boy oh boy, Indiana
Oh
football,
boy.
Indiana football. Oh my God,
Um, yeah, I think the Seahawks have this
Clayton, you probably want to
crazy
just
thing this
turn it
year
off,
where
buddy.
I feel like a lot of the
Yeah.
defensive players in Seattle are just they're so big and they're so fast
Hmm.
Like they're able to do things that a lot of other teams are not, just because of the quality of like athlete that they have on that defensive side. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
they're
mean,
long, they're aggressive.
Oh
They
yeah.
are
yeah,
just
but
so
no,
impressive to me.
some of the tackles I saw in last week's game against San Francisco should be illegal. It was like, even as a Seahawks fan, I'm glad we won, but I was like, guys, we're not trying to kill them out there. Chill out. Um,
Yeah, they definitely looked like they were angry. And it's a division game, so like
it was,
it's
yeah, and it was
always
for
going to
the
be like
one seed,
that.
so I get
But
it, but it still was
yeah,
like,
and
guys,
they
we could
kind
have
of
at least
eased it
let them
up. They
score
eased
one
up a little bit
touchdown.
in the playoffs too. When it comes to they kind of let people play a little bit more. When it
Yeah.
comes to like well, obviously it's not the playoffs that game, but like when you're getting towards the end of the season. Um, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, no, Eagles are my fraud
Yeah,
alert
that Seahawks
for sure.
defense is fast and violent and then really good. That's all there is
Hmm.
to it. And then when their offense does click, they have one of the better offenses in the
Yeah, I
league.
mean, I feel like that last week's game against the 49ers, the Seahawks defense reached their final form.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, it was great.
they digivolved into like the Super Seahawks, because my goodness, not a single touchdown from that high-powered 49ers offense the last few weeks. Not
Yeah.
one. You couldn't score a
Well,
single touchdown. They managed to make it to the red zone
going back to
one
the
time.
Panthers game too, when they played the Panthers, this was a Panthers team that beat the Rams and everything, and their defense shut them down to 10 because that's a great
Yeah.
Panthers offense between Rico
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
Dowdle,
Panthers offense played the
Chuba
Seahawks
Hubbard,
defense better
Bryce
than the
Young, Tet,
49ers
and
did.
them. Oh yeah, no, it
Yeah.
was Seahawks defense is a real deal. If Darnold can just stay turnover free and control his
Stay
game,
consistent.
um, look for his checkdowns and don't force anything, yeah,
Just
uh,
stop seeing ghosts.
I think the Seahawks have it. I think the Seahawks will solely depend on Darnold. You've got to just
Yeah.
be calm, collected, and ready. Your defense, if you make a mistake, now there will probably be a mistake, but if you make a mistake, you have the defense to fall back on. Don't freak yourself
Yeah.
out, you know?
That's nice. It's
Yeah.
definitely good to have. If we
And
want
I
to talk real quick
guarantee,
about
I was gonna say, I can guarantee that's exactly what they're working on during this time leading up to their playoff game. They're probably really trying to develop Darnold into having less turnovers, throwing less picks. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. The defense can help you recover, so throwing a pick isn't as bad as if, say, the Rams threw one, for example. But it's still not a good thing to be throwing to the wrong. It's throwing
No,
and having the wrong guy catch it. That's not a
especially in
good
the
thing,
playoffs
and
Darnold,
where you might
that's
be giving it
part
to
of
your
why. And that's part of why they've been running the ball so much. Is it's such a safe
yes.
option with that in mind.
It's helped a lot that Charbonnet and Murray have turned themselves. They've
yeah.
caught fire. They weren't doing that
Oh
well
yeah,
in the middle of the season, and it just kind of looked like that was going to be the Achilles heel. But now they've seemed to have regained their control, and if they can just continue to establish a run, give Donald a run game, easy as that. All
It's
right,
more than just
yeah, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
no, I was saying like establishing the run with a defense that good is so powerful, because you're killing like time on the clock while also allowing your defense to rest. And if you're moving the ball with your running backs, like, and you're holding the ball, you're securing it, you're taking your biggest advantage, and you are like it's basically like a force multiplier. It's like, yeah, our defense is going to crush you. So if we can like make sure they're fresh for as long as possible, and whenever they come up, like it's just a problem.
Yeah.
What I was saying is, if we're talking about games from last week, real quick, I don't want to dwell on it too much because we have a lot of important stuff to
No,
go
yeah.
on with the
There's
NFL
not.
season,
absolutely.
especially with the playoffs coming up.
There's only two important
But I
games last
wanted to
week.
mention, yep, Seahawks, Ravens, not Seahawks, Ravens, Steelers. I'm so
Steelers.
sorry. Yeah, the Seahawks, my brain. Steelers, Ravens. My goodness. I
Oh
mean, that's a
man,
What a
whole
game.
thing to
that
talk about.
was.
I know, Clayton, you feel very strongly about that.
I
Um,
think that was one of the first football games that ever actually made me cry afterward. I was
You know,
upset by that.
I also want to say one thing about it. If that never happened, you wouldn't have made change at head coach. Because look at the Steelers situation
Yeah,
compared to yours. He goes 10-7, wins a
they
division,
need to hurry up and
might
fire Mike Fraudlin though.
might get bounced in the first round, but they'll keep him because he's consistent. Haba,
yeah.
great coach. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Hmm.
this needed to happen. I think they both needed to part ways. I think it's time for Haba to go find a new home, and the Ravens to find themselves a new coach. I think it's just mutually
Yeah,
beneficial for both of them, and I think Haba's going to end up in either probably Miami or New York. And he have a way better situation if he ends up
Maybe Atlanta.
in New York. I don't think
maybe
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I don't think
I,
Atlanta.
I I
I
hope
think it's
he
between
comes
New
to the
York and
Giants.
Miami, but I don't think it's Atlanta. But it could be anywhere. I wouldn't know.
I think the Giants are a great landing spot for him.
The man could go to
You
the
know, and
Raiders.
we'll get into that a little bit more because I have
Yep.
some very strong thoughts on
Oh,
the
I
matter.
know. Um,
But let's
the
talk a little bit about that game, the actual game itself. Lamar actually had a good game. He played well. He looked good. Unfortunately, it just didn't matter. You know, the missed field
yeah.
goal at the end of the game, absolutely heartbreaking. It's a 44-yard field goal. People want to talk about Harbaugh's decision, you know, like should they have run another play to try to get a little closer? Personally, I think you're trying to hold on to the ball. The Ravens have had an issue with ball security this year, fumbles, right? It's a 44-yard field goal. He's thinking it's this is the safer bet. Kick the ball,
I get
right?
it.
Like kick the ball, it's the
I
safer bet. Unfortunately, because really, here's the reality: 9 times out of 10, a 44-yard field goal, you're good,
well, so
right?
Tyler
Especially, I
Loop.
think he was like
Let
13.
me
He had made like 13 prior, like in a row,
let me
something like
bring this
that.
up. Let me bring this up real quick. They should have ran another play. They should have done a quick out route to maybe try to get a couple more yards. You have a timeout. Worst case, it goes incomplete, and you kick it with like 7 seconds left. But I understand they've had Derrick Henry's had ball security problems. Zay Flowers has had ball security problems. Um,
Yeah, Lamar too.
Lamar too. So it's like I get that. I get all of it. But I feel you had enough time to run a quick out route, like just run Zay to the sideline on a zig, pick up like 4 more yards, and that's it. But I'm not the coach. I don't make those decisions. Tyler Loop was a solid field goal kicker. He's a great rookie, and I hate that the Ravens fans were in his engagement section giving him death threats. That was insane to me. And I'm like, okay,
No,
guys, we can calm down on that one, please. But uh, he's a rookie, and
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest kick of his life, and it just dragged on him. And I don't really
I
blame
think
him.
there was also an issue with the holder. I think the ball might have been not exactly where it should have been.
Did
Um,
he have the laces to the foot? Because I know that's like not.
I don't know. I'd have to double check. I had heard that. I'm not sure if it's true.
Yeah,
But usually a lot of missed kicks do come down to where the ball is placed by the holder.
especially because Loop
But
has been a solid kicker all year. You know,
yeah,
he hasn't been that type of guy to miss in those situations, and a 46 should have been easy by him. And it happens because I mean, look at Aubrey. Aubrey kind of sucked to end the year. He kind of fizzled out. I mean, he missed 3 of his last, I think, like 10 kicks, and that's very unusual for Aubrey. So, but it happens. Kicking again is hard, and that's the entire reason Pat McAfee puts it on game day because people talked all that crap, and they're like, "Hey, come kick a normal POT, and we'll pay you money." And then, like almost 90% of the time, they don't make it the first time. They might make it the second time, but they never really make it a lot. It's like it's just a
yeah.
point. Kicking's not as easy as it looks.
Not only is it hard, it is one of the most strenuous things that you can do for your body, apparently, as well.
Hmm. I actually
Uh,
didn't know that.
yeah,
it is
apparently
actually
it takes a whole
it
lot
is.
because you're using your entire body when you're doing that. You cannot kick 2 days in a row. You just can't do it. It's I didn't know that either, but I watched
Yeah,
like a whole
Chris,
your
hello,
nervous system
I'm pretty sure it is
is what it ends up
because
being.
when my dad used to coach football, I
No,
remember going to practice
yeah,
with him a few times, and I asked him to let me kick it, and he was like, "Clayton, I'm not letting my 6-year-old son shock his body like that."
Indiana
Go
just
ask the kicker how hard it is to kick that field goal, and I did, and he was like,
Indiana
dude,
just
I
went up.
struggle with it, and I've been doing it since I started playing. I was like, oh,
Indiana just went up 35-7.
oh my god,
They did another touchdown.
This is
At
this
shades
least a
game's
of
over.
touchdown.
I'm turning it off.
you
This
remember
game's over.
last year when Ohio State smacked Oregon out in the second round. This it
Yeah,
reminds me a
this is
lot like
just
that.
that
It
again.
reminds me a lot like that. And Ohio
I
State
think
went
he
on
might
to
have been down.
no, I think the ball was over at the same time. I don't think there's enough to overturn it. You
Okay.
need another angle because his butt
Yeah, show me the
hits.
overhead. Show
His
me the
butt
overhead.
hits there, but I think it's over. I think it's just slightly over. I think that's enough
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, it's barely over.
because his butt didn't hit there, but there it's over. Yeah, see, it's very
Yeah.
close,
Yep, just like
but
that.
it's
That was
like
close
Yeah.
though.
it's shades of that Ohio State game last year, and that Ohio yeah that it's so slightly over from that angle. It's kind of
Yep,
crazy.
I see it. Okay.
But
Hmm.
Sorry.
Ohio State did the same thing, and then they went on to win the Natty. So I think Indiana's probably gonna touchdown. Yep. Yeah. All right. Back to it.
Yep.
Yeah. It is what it is. Kicking's hard, and that stuff happens. But the
Man, I
other
wish
game.
Adam was here so we could talk about the Panthers sliding into the playoffs.
Oh,
Imagine
that was
8-9.
wild.
I'm like, dude, better thank the damn Falcons. And
Imagine
I'm,
losing your last game and still making it to the
you know what's
playoffs.
crazy? You know
That's
what's crazy to me, Chris? And I thought about this. The Falcons were eliminated from playoff contention weeks ago, yet they finished tied for first in the NF in that division. And I'm like, wait
yep.
a minute. How
Yeah,
does it?
they turned on. Ever since they lost to the Seahawks, they've been a whole different team.
Yeah, Cousins got a little more consistent, and then Bijan's just started popping off. That's pretty much it.
Bijan, yep.
But yeah,
And not just Bijan, they started like hitting hitting Pitts with the ball, giving the ball to Kyle Pitts. Drake London's always been, he's been really good since he's been there. Um, just impressive all around.
yeah.
I mean, I wonder if the Falcons get themselves a coach for next season, they might have a pretty decent year. Especially in that NFC South, I feel like that division is wide open right now. You know, um, I mean, we'll see. Depending on, we'll get into the whole coaches situation later.
I think
But there's a
Oh
lot of
man,
stuff
I want to
going
get
on.
into it now. I
let's
have some
well
Do we want to
opinions.
talk coaches
let, let
first, or do we want to
let's
talk
talk
playoffs?
let's talk games real quick, and then we'll get into coaches
All
because
right,
games will take a little
Okay,
bit longer, and coaches won't take as long.
I agree.
Um,
all right.
We got some great ones coming up. I mean, obviously, it's the playoffs. They're
yeah.
all going to be mostly pretty
Let's
great.
let's start. Let's kind of start in order here. First game up, Rams Panthers rematch. Panthers have already beaten the Rams this year. A really good game. Another game for the Panthers at
Yeah.
home. I don't see them doing it twice. Now, that's not saying they can't. I have picked the Rams. I think the Rams will.
Yeah. Well, we already know that they are fully capable of doing it, and it's not like now. Granted, I think Stafford had two interceptions in that game against the Panthers, but it's not like he played completely awful. And or am I wrong? Did he throw four in that one? Or that was
Let
a
me
different
double
game?
check.
Which
Let me check.
game?
Let me
The
check for
Falcons
you.
game?
No,
The
he
Panthers
threw
game.
four in the Falcons game, and the Panthers was only two, but he also had
Yeah.
like two or three touchdowns, right? So he had like a normal quarterback game. Um, yeah, it's wild because everybody's counting the Panthers out, and I don't blame them. I think the Rams are going to win too, right? I'm right there with you, America. But we know that the Panthers can beat the Rams, and if they do beat the Rams, it changes everything because now all of a sudden it's like, well, what's going to happen?
I'm
It's like
not
they beat the
counting the
Rams.
Panthers out. They've shown they're a team that when they play up, they can play anybody, but when they play down, they can't. Um,
Yeah,
they're just not
yeah. If they can
consistent.
rise
They're
to
just
the
not
occasion,
consistent, unfortunately. If they could have, and they're I think they're ahead of schedule. Like 8-9 winning the division, I think they're ahead of schedule. I think they'll be good again next year. They maybe just patch some
yeah,
more O line in, and then uh, bolster the secondary and the linebacking core a teensy little bit, and then maybe even find themselves like a dominant edge rusher, like draft one. We'll see.
I
Um,
do wonder how Bryce Young is going to play in the playoffs because He's been very clutch
It's consistency in play
with his
calling.
time in the NFL.
Canales has a
Oh yeah, 100%.
Canales has a tendency to get too complacent for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, you saw it against the Bucks a little bit, and you saw it against when they played the Seahawks and the 49ers. It's just like whenever he just gets too complacent, and I don't understand why he gets complacent, but who knows? Maybe he just doesn't do that and keeps the play. He should. It's the playoffs. You keep the playbook open no matter what, but we'll see. But they've already game planned and beat the Rams, so it might be easier for them to pull a little upset here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
And it could also be a matter of matchups too. Like it could be that their team is just the way that they're built is a good matchup against LA, you know?
Hmm.
Um that definitely happens. Uh
All
if we're
right.
still doing NFC games,
Yeah. Well,
uh
I'm just going next up on the docket. I'm going by the Saturday
okay,
games. Bears
gotcha. We're just
Packers
going
or Packers
Bears
Bears.
Packers.
Packers at
Um
Bears.
Give me the Bears.
I
Go
Give me the
I think
Bears.
Bears.
I am finally going to pick the Bears, and I think it's going to be the time that I shouldn't. I I just think the Packers are a little too beat up,
They
but I
got too
also
banged
like,
up.
man, it would not put it past me that the Packers just decide like it's so Packers to just ruin the Bears season. Like that's the most
So
Packers coded thing I could imagine,
I want
you
to say
know?
one thing about the Bears. For some reason, other than the 49ers game, these past couple of games, they've only decided to show up late. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a I don't really know why. It's just like they had to make that comeback against the Packers late in the game who were without Jordan Love. Then they had that shootout with the Niners. Really good game. Niners were just
Yeah.
the hot hand, and their offense was better at the time, which is really good because that was a good Bears defense. They put 42 on. And then the Lions game,
Yep.
they were down 16-0 in the fourth, and then they come back, and then they lose 19-16. But it's like, why are they? Maybe it's just a divisional opponent thing. You know, it's the second time around they see you and they're able to do this. But again, now it's another divisional opponent. You have the Packers again. Now, albeit you are now playing a very dead Packers defense. A lot of injuries. They cannot seem to be very good run stoppers at the moment. Seeing as Derrick Henry absolutely demolished them when the Ravens played. So Bears should go very big run heavy type of game, hopefully. But I just don't see the Packers doing it. Too many injuries. They would need the offense to play insane, and if the Bears defense is as healthy as it is right now, then it should just be a Bears victory. I could see it probably being closer than people think, but like a 24-14 type of affair to me.
You know, I
Yeah.
might be going out on a limb here. I don't know why, but I'm actually I'm seeing differently. I think the Bears are going to win more comfortably. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just had this thought in my head that this might be the Bears' year to kind of like get the Packers demon off their back. Um, and the Packers are so beat up right now. Chicago might play. They're playing at home in a playoff game for the first time in a long time. I want to say the last time they had a home playoff game might have been when they went to the Super Bowl against the Colts in 2008 or 2006. I do you remember what year that was?
I think it was
That might not
2000.
be true.
No, I
They might
think
have
it
had
was
they might have had another one since then, but it's been a
what?
while.
The Bears?
Yeah. Uh,
Was it not? Hold on.
but
Keep going. Keep talking. I'm looking something up.
no, but all I'm saying is I think that they might show up to this game. I think everybody's going to be on their top, like they're going to be performing, uh, and they might show the Packers like, hey, this is our division this year, like we're running things right now, and we'll see what happens next season. But um, I think they've got the momentum, they've got that aura. I didn't believe it for a long time, but And this could be a really L take come next week, but I'm imagining I'm seeing it. I could see a world where the Bears like lay it on Green Bay and they have a
2007.
comfortable victory over them. I was right.
Yes, you were right. I just
Okay.
didn't remember what year it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that, but it's also like it's a divisional matchup again. The Even if the Packers are a little down and out with injuries, it's a team they know, so it's a little easier to play. But also, I could put it as maybe this time around, Ben Johnson just switches everything up completely and goes a new route just to be who Ben Johnson is, a great play caller, a great head coach, and the
Yeah.
turnaround of the Bears he did is insanely good. So,
All right.
um,
Sunday games?
Sunday games. I clicked
We got
off
one here that I'm very excited for.
ESPN.
I
Oh, we
cannot
got
wait
they're
for
all
1 o'clock Sunday.
yeah the Bills
We got
Jaguars man.
yep, Bills at Jacksonville. Oh man. I mean, we're
Give
not
me the
really
Jaguars.
I don't think we're really doing a Galaxy game plan today, but if we were, this would be my pick
I
for
think
it.
that's going to be the best game of the week.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this: I'm gonna be rooting for Buffalo, but I believe the Jaguars will win. I'm not gonna be upset if the Jaguars win either, because the truth is, in the AFC, I want one of these two teams to go all the way.
I'm rooting for the
Uh,
Jags, and it's pretty obvious why. It's because
yeah,
it's
but
Trevor
like
Lawrence and
I'm gonna
Travis
be real with you.
Etienne.
Whatever team wins this game, they're the team that I'm rooting for the whole way through. Uh, Here's the situation with this game, and I got some stuff written down here, right? Because it is, to me, this is the one I'm the most excited for, and I know I'm gonna be watching my old man. My old man's a Jacksonville fan, so uh, I know he's excited for this game too. We're talking about season stats. The Jaguars, I think, they are not rated as highly as Buffalo for a lot of people, but I do think they're the better team. I think that they're more complete. I don't trust Buffalo's defense. Um, Josh Allen, I do trust. Uh, Adam's not here um, to disparage me. I trust Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
Adam's not
Um,
here. You're safe. You can speak.
However, I also trust Trevor Lawrence this year. That Jaguars offense has been so efficient. Um, their defense has been a little lighter on the pressure this season, and it might give if Josh Allen has time to make decisions, he's going to be really dangerous. They've been good. I think they're still a top 10 defense this year, if I'm not mistaken. They are a
Yes.
complete team. They are good offensively and defensively. They look good, like eye test wise. I just and if they can show up, and it's not like this is Trevor's first time playing under
No.
bright lights. He's played in the
Um,
playoffs in the NFL.
he has
He's
a playoff
won
win under his
two
belt.
national championships, right? With
Yes.
Clemson.
Yep.
Like
No, he's won one. He's
that's
been to two.
yeah,
He's won one.
one. Okay, gotcha. This isn't this isn't new for him, but it's also not new for Josh Allen, who is statistically, I believe, the best playoff quarterback in NFL history.
Hey, look,
Uh,
I'm going to put it this way. There is no Burrow. There is no Mahomes.
yes,
You are primed to finally make your run and win the AFC.
yeah. And also, if you look at the way Josh Allen plays in the playoffs, touchdown to interception ratio, right? QBR, he's him, right?
Yeah,
Those games that they were losing, a lot of the time, not his fault. Uh,
yeah.
I just don't know if the Bills' defense is going to be able to do what it takes to win them this game
No,
because
because
I
that,
know that the Jaguars have been moving the ball like crazy.
that man
They've
Clayton is
won
sending me reels during the podcast. What are we doing?
No, but it's football relevant. It's football relevant. Okay, I swear.
It's fine.
uh,
It's fine. It's
they're on
fine.
an 8-game winning streak right now. They are so hot, and that's so important right now. Um, I really do think that these two teams, and also the Patriots for me, and maybe the Texans if their offense can get moving, I think are
Yeah.
serious threats. I don't have a lot of confidence in the Chargers or the Broncos. Um, I know literally. I think I've thrown like at least I keep throwing shade at the Broncos. Even this podcast, I'm pretty sure I've thrown shade at the Broncos a couple times. I don't
D-
hate you guys. I really don't hate the Broncos. I'd love to see them succeed. I just don't believe in you at all. Um, uh,
So,
I'm sorry. I could
Chris,
be wrong,
I'm
and
gonna
and
break
if you
some
prove
news
me
to you.
wrong, good for you. Like I like Bo Nix. I think you guys can be really good.
Chris, I'm gonna
I
break some news
really
to you.
don't believe in the
You talk about
Broncos.
that experience, and Sean Payton's a Super Bowl winning coach, so
I
we'll
know, I
we'll
know.
we'll
I
see.
just
It's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
Let's keep
Um,
going down the line of games here.
yes,
My take on the Bills and Jags. I'm rooting for the Jags. I think the Jags are the better overall team, but I do think
I
this is
agree.
Josh Allen's year. But I'm gonna pick the Jags because I think just the way Trevor and that team are playing right
Yep, I'm
now,
picking
they're
the
a force
Jags
to be
too.
reckoned with.
Yep,
Niners,
I love
Eagles.
Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm picking. Give me the Niners. Give me the
Yeah,
Niners
give everyone the Niners.
9 times
This
out
is
of
the
9.
first time me, Adam, and Chris have all picked the same exact games on our NFL picks for this week. Like none of us changed our picks. We all had the same people, so we're all in agreement on who we
Yeah.
think should win. Not saying they will win, but
Which
just
is
who we're
actually that's
picking.
great that Clayton's here now because he
Yeah,
might have a different opinion. Uh, I'm sure,
Clayton's gonna be the enemy
he's
of the
not the
state and be
biggest fan
like,
of the
"Give me the
49ers.
Eagles."
No, fuck the Eagles.
Oh, thank you,
Um,
Hey, all
thank you.
right. One of us.
One of us, one of
not
us.
quite, because I think the Broncos are going to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Ah,
Oh,
you
see,
just,
finally some parity.
uh, you're
Now,
just
if
wrong.
you hear a
I mean, I don't know
sound,
what
it's
to tell
me
No,
you.
kicking
listen,
Clayton
they
from the
have the
Discord.
power of anime on their side.
Oh, you're right. They have the
I
horse
forgot
girls,
about that.
the Urumasame, the one seat edits. My God, I have been filled with that. Now, for people who don't know, we are
Yeah.
nerds. The only one who isn't
We
really
don't need to get into this
into
right
anime
now.
is Adam, but we all get the Broncos horse girl edits and them adopting the new fandom, and we don't need to get into
Yeah,
it.
none of us
That'll
are
be for
quite
the future.
as nerdy as Adam.
Yeah, Adam's a nerd. He's
Dude,
just not an anime nerd.
if the Broncos go to the Super Bowl,
No, Riley, he's not
the
here to
edits are
defend
going to go
himself. We can
insane.
slander him.
He's an idiot.
Uh, yeah.
uh, actually, this is our podcast. We can talk trash about Adam the
Oh,
entire
hold on,
time.
Riley. Can I tell you what my friends' picks for the NFL
Okay,
playoffs
yes,
were?
go ahead. You talked
Yeah,
about that
go.
earlier.
Okay, because these, and I'm gonna read his exact reasons for them. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody context one more time. He didn't know what teams were in. The last context he has for NFL football is probably like the 2010s. Okay,
Hmm.
he's been completely divorced
Removed.
from it for a very long time. All right, here are his takes: Steelers, Texans. He says the Steelers, because if the Texans are anything like the Cowboys, we don't like them. New York blood feud with Texas. For Buffalo
They
Jacksonville,
are
all he
nothing like
said
the
was
Cowboys.
"Go Bills."
Okay, you know.
For the Patriots and the Chargers, he didn't say anything about the Chargers, but he did say we don't like the Patriots. Is Tom Brady still there?
Yes, his clone Drake May is
Yeah, his
there.
clone Drake May. Yeah.
Um, for Rams Panthers, he says the Rams because of racism and also their colors are
What does that
they're
mean?
purple and gold.
Hold on.
I don't know what it means. But then he said
What
they're
does that
purple and
mean?
gold, right? And I said no, they're not. And he was like, "Oh, they're like a dark like blue." I was like, "No, no, they're not in St. Louis anymore." And he was like, "What do you mean they're not in St. Louis anymore?" Then for the Eagles and the 49ers, he said, "The Eagles because it's rage bait."
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Well,
and for Chicago and Green Bay, he said, "For Chicago's sake, I hope the Bears win."
you know what's funny? I saw a post earlier today, and it was said Philadelphia if the Eagles win, or if the Eagles lose, and it was Philadelphia blowing up, and then the next to it was Philadelphia if the Eagles win. It was the same video of it blowing up.
That's not wrong.
Yeah,
That's not
so
wrong.
I'd
Philadelphia
like to,
for rage bait.
I.
Was he rage baiting
Oh
you?
man.
shout out to my friend Rich for his great picks. Uh, thank you,
Is
my
there
friend.
is there
I'll have to
somehow a
ask you
way?
next week
What if
what
his
you think
picks
as
go
well.
undefeated, Chris? What would you say?
That's what I'm saying. It can happen. It can happen.
What if? Is there a way to root for somehow both teams to lose a football game? Because I don't want either the
Team Meteor.
49ers
Never
or
forget
the
about
Eagles
Team
to win.
Meteor. Don't forget about
Yeah,
Team Meteor, bro.
with regards to the Niners and Eagles game, give me Team Meteor and to stadium.
Yeah, no,
Clayton,
I'm rooting for the 49ers.
it's
I
funny
have
because
no
I'm in
hate for you
agreement.
49ers faithful.
As a
Uh,
Hey, look, as a Cowboys fan, I hate both those fandoms. I mean,
Hmm.
what did the most famous Cowboys fan write an entire diss track on? Fuck the 49ers. Fuck the 49ers.
Fuck the
You a sorry
49ers.
ass
You a
team.
sorry ass.
Yeah.
Fuck the 49ers.
Hey, look, the 49ers talk their shit and they've been to the Super Bowl, but you know who has just as long as a Super Bowl winning drought as the Cowboys? The 49ers. So,
hey, you want to hear a fun statistic about the Cowboys, Riley?
no, I
The
don't. Shut up,
49ers?
Chris.
Talking about the
You know,
49ers right now and how much
in
we
the
hate
last
them.
30 years, every team in the NFC has been to the NFC Championship except for one team.
Wow, Chris, I
Clayton, would you
wonder
like to
who it
guess what team
is.
that is?
Yeah.
You
Um,
said, wait, what? In the past 20 years, every
Past
NFC
30
team
years.
has been to the Super.
I've
30
launched an
years.
ICBM
Every
nuke.
NFC team has been to
The
the Super Bowl
AFC.
except for one
Right,
team,
the
the
No,
Dallas
not
NFC,
the
Cowboys.
not the Super Bowl.
the
It's a
NFC Championship.
championship, not the
Oh,
Super
the
Bowl.
championship?
The NFC
Yes,
championship.
not even the Super Bowl, just the NFC
Yeah,
Championship.
it's worse.
Oh,
Uh,
the
Chris,
Dallas Cowboys, right?
there's an
Yes,
ICBM nuclear missile heading to your location right now.
that's fine. It'll miss just like it misses the NFC Championship
It's
every
fine.
It
year.
It's
don't
only been
miss.
30 years. It's also only been 30 years since San Francisco won the Super Bowl because they suck. Fuck the
That's
49ers.
All right.
that's crazy.
Um, last couple of games, you have the Chargers and Patriots. I think the
Patriots.
Patriots should win that. And then you have the Texans
Yeah,
and
that should be pretty
Steelers,
easy.
and I think the Texans should probably win that. Um,
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
And if the
much.
Steelers win, it changes. I don't even know what to do at that
I just
point.
think the Texans defense is too good. I don't.
I
I
agree.
They're gonna put the
Hmm.
old man into the dirt, and then the.
I don't know if the Texas offense is going to be able to score very much.
I
It
don't
might be
think
a
it really
very low scoring
matters.
game. Oh yeah, I agree.
I don't think it matters if he fucking dies when he gets hit
Yeah, we
by
might be getting
the
another
Texans defense.
another coach out of here, depending on how
Ugh.
that game goes.
Other than that, Chargers Patriots should be the Patriots. Chargers are a
Yep.
little meh on the
A
offensive
little banged
line.
up, and
Um,
I don't have as much
it
faith
should
in
be a
them.
good game though, actually, but I
I
don't
think
have
so.
as
It's not impossible the Chargers win.
no.
I think the Patriots
I
are
think it's a
good.
close game, but I think the Patriots take it. All right. Let's get talking about this coaching carousel in this offseason. What we have eight
Oh, I was
vacancies.
thinking the same thing. Coaching carousel. I
You
like
know,
that. That's great.
Crazy.
you know what's gonna be insane when it happens, and I'm gonna call it now. When Dan Campbell snags Mike McDaniel as the next
Offensive
offensive
coordinator. I was
coordinator,
gonna say the same
yep,
thing.
the
I was
Lions are
gonna
gonna
say
be
the
so
same
back.
thing.
The Lions are gonna return to their old ways
Yeah, I think that's
pre
a
this
win for
year.
McDaniel as well because having a great if he goes to the Lions as an OC and he has a great season, which he probably would, he all of a sudden looks so much more like desirable for another coaching job in the future. Um, because
Well,
the reality is he does have more wins with Miami than he has losses with
yes,
his
he
tenure there.
he brought out the best in the Miami offense, but it was clear he wasn't going anywhere with them, and it was time to move on, especially when you have a coach like Harbaugh come available, and it's like we need
Yeah.
to, even though every other team's vying for him, it's like we need to go after him.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw this like skit on TikTok today actually. It was guy was like going through all the different coaches that are, essentially out of a job right now and kind of on the hunt for where to go next. And it was just Jim Harbaugh was just taking calls from every team
You know,
John.
that also
because
had John, hi, it's Cleveland.
there's not really a variety of coaches I'd really want to go after this year. Like there's not it's not that type of year. Like I think, and I'm going to say this, I know he got fired from the Cardinals and I know he had a bad year at the Cardinals, but I think Gannon's a good coach. I think Gannon can probably make it somewhere new maybe, but
Yeah, I think maybe it was
you
just
have
the
Harbaugh.
Cardinals.
You have Nagy from
No,
the Chiefs.
I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, Chiefs offense coordinator. You have Spagnuolo from the Chiefs. Eagles
Maybe.
defensive coordinator could be a good candidate for a job. Maybe a team would
Flores, I
take a
think, might
chance.
be looking for a job. Even Robert Sala potentially
Yes,
after
you
resurgence.
you took the words right out of my mouth. A team could take
Yeah,
a chance on Robert Sala again. A team could take a chance on Brian Flores again. And maybe someone picks up Dayball. off the I don't know. It's just but there's like it's not like you have to go get this guy and that's just Haba like
Yeah.
Harbar. I don't
I
know
think
how do you
they've
say his
all
name. I
probably could.
probably
I say
butchering it.
Harbaugh. I think
Harbaugh.
it's Harbaugh.
I don't know why I keep calling him
Yeah.
Haba.
Harbaugh, yeah. I
Yeah. I
always
have
just
a
thought of it
lot
as hard ball,
to say.
but like a little kid saying it.
So
Harbaugh.
I want to throw my words into the pile here. Um, as a Giants fan,
Kevin Stefanski.
uh, I would like Harbaugh. That would be my first choice when it comes to coaches that are on the table right now. And some folks are saying, oh, a lot of the play calling decisions, especially for like not Rams, Ravens fans that I know have been kind of suffering the past few years and not being able to get over the playoff hump. To
Yeah.
me, a lot of that is not his fault, right? Like Harbaugh didn't fumble the ball. Like he didn't drop the pass. He didn't miss the kick.
So
Now, we can argue about like should he have kicked there? Should he have, done a play first? We had that discussion
let's talk
earlier.
about that
Right?
actually.
Yeah.
You bring that up. Funny enough, Harbaugh was not Mark Andrews who dropped the pass against the the Bills to make it to the championship game, the AFC championship game. Harbaugh was not the man who forgot to tackle Josh Boyd or Tyler Boyd in 2018 that let the Bengals go to the playoffs and eliminate the or not the Bengals that eliminated them from the playoffs. Harbaugh is not the man that made a lot of the mistakes that have kept them out, but he is also the man that has to correct these mistakes. And if these mistakes keep racking up over year and year, then it's going to fall on your head coach. And then if you have 8 years of Lamar Jackson and you haven't made it to the championship game with him, what are we doing? That's a two-time MVP
Yeah.
right there. Your stud quarterback. Why have we not gone out and given Lamar a top-tier receiver either? Like, why have we not given Lamar a jump ball guy? Zay Flowers is good, don't get me wrong, but like you give him a true number one receiver, I don't understand.
Yeah. How much of that you think is on the GM?
It's a little both. I think Harbar has a lot to say on that too. I think they said, but we'll see uh,
Yeah. And
what
also, do
that
you think that
was.
there was a personality clash between the two of them?
I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know that situation. You think there wouldn't be
Yeah. I,
because
I mean,
he's
obviously,
been there for
I'm kind of
so
hopeful.
long.
Uh, I'm hopeful because I do think the Giants have a very young and talented team, and with the right coach, and I think Harbaugh could be that right coach. I think we could have an Andy Reid situation where he leaves the Eagles, goes to a new team and finds a whole bunch of success. Um, Obviously, that's a little bit of copium, right? I won't lie. The chances that it's something like that very slim, but I need hope right now. And that would
Yeah.
be the best case scenario for me, right? Is that he comes over, we get him, he comes over, he turns the team around, and they come out next year and they look awesome.
Whoa,
Uh,
whoa,
and
whoa.
then,
Hold on. What the heck? I did not see this. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead. I'll bring it up when you're done with your point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, if not Harbaugh, there are other options on the table. I know the Giants. I think for us, it's Harbaugh or Stefanski right now are the two at the front of the race. I would rather Harbaugh. I'm not. I'm not completely opposed to Stefanski. I think that he could be good. I like his defensive play calling. I think that he's a great defensive coach. I do worry about the development of our offense. We would need to get the right guy as an offensive coordinator, and it could be successful. But to me, they don't have the same like they don't have the same what's the word I'm looking for? Star power that John Harbaugh has, where I'm like, okay, this guy might be a game changer for us. And I could be wrong. We could get a guy that nobody knows, and he could be really good. It's just that's how things are. But I want somebody that's going to bring my team success. I'm tired of losing, uh, and I think that we have talent on this team. I think we could be a really good team. And I hope that they make the right choice here because I miss watching my Giants win. I miss it because especially this year. I mean, I look at them play. I look at the guys move, and I'm like, man, they look so good. They got the athleticism. They have this spark that I haven't seen for the past like 5 years or even more, really.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I want to see it. I want to see their potential unleashed.
So
Uh,
a little off
Well, I
topic.
mean,
The Commanders have hired
okay.
David Blau as their new offensive coordinator.
Oh,
I don't know how to feel about that because I don't know. Blau is a former quarterback, but I don't know if he's ever
yeah,
coached before. So that's interesting.
we're gonna have to find out if he's any good. He could be really good. We don't know. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, he's
David
young.
Blau. That's kind of wild.
He was on their staff and they promoted him. And Kingsbury, I know he left for new opportunities, and I think he's going to try to take advantage of this open coaching searches to go be a head coach again. So, but yeah, no, I feel you, Chris. I think y'all do have the talent. Y'all have two good running backs. Y'all have a good
Yep.
young quarterback, really good
Yep.
receiving core, solid,
Yep.
really solid defensive line, good linebackers. Probably need to patch the secondary a teensy bit with some good
Yeah, we
corners and a
do.
safety, but overall, your record, like, you blew games, like you led on all these teams late in the game
Five
and just
games.
and blew it, like, and that's on coaching. Um,
Yeah.
but no, you're a
Yeah,
solid team,
absolutely.
very solid team. I think you're the most. If I'm Harbar, the most alluring jobs to me are the Falcons and the Giants. Two
I
teams
agree
with a young
because
core
the talent,
that aren't far out. Because I mean, heck, the Falcons finished 8-9, tied for first. That's really not that
and
far
you can
out
mold them as
without
well. The young
Penix.
teams.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what were you about to say, Clayton? Sorry.
I was gonna kind of talking about how the Giants have been like pretty good this year. I mean, you look at a couple of their games. Like I remember checking a few of them before like going to bed or whatnot, and I was like, oh, okay, the Giants are probably gonna win the game. Going to bed, waking up the next morning, checking the score, and I just think, how,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
they
man,
blew
they had a
5 games and
9-0
leading by
how?
lead in
10
the
late.
fourth quarter. How'd that happen?
They blew 5 10-point leads
Five
in
games.
the in 5 games. So it's like
In the fourth quarter, yeah.
you hold on to those. What you're like 7-win
It's a whole
team.
different
Yeah,
season.
it's a whole
Yeah,
different
it's
season.
not like 9-10 win. It's a completely different season.
You'll make the playoffs if you win those games.
Yeah,
Right? And the
maybe.
reason for me, I think the maybe. I think the reason the Giants are a more attractive location to me than even the Falcons is I think that if you're Harbaugh and you're looking at your quarterback situation, I think Dart is the more attractive prospect just based off of their performance this year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a. I really like him. I didn't expect him to be what he was this season, and if he can make a step forward next year, I think he could be really good. I mean, he hasn't turned the ball over a lot. He's managed to score. He needs to kind of relax a little bit on like running into people. He needs to protect himself a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely some like he made some rookie mistakes this season, but he's a rookie, so I'm gonna give him grace on that one. If he can get a little smarter and protect himself a little bit more. I love his attitude. I mean, I wish he would protect himself more, but I still love having the attitude of, no fear, trying to win. Um, and I think we could create a really strong culture for the team uh, with the right coach.
I hate to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
can I say my thing now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Matt Eberflus is gone.
Okay, that's right. He's been
Thank
waiting to say that all week.
God. Thank the Lord. Oh my, he should have been gone 9 years ago. He should have never been here. Jerry should have never hired him. I don't understand that. Three of the last six worst defensive coordinators to ever grace the field have all been Cowboys coordinators. Yet it's all Dak's fault. It's Dak's fault. Oh, that type of crap. I don't want to hear it. Jerry's a bad hirer. He always says he's gonna make these major changes. Never really does. It's so annoying. And then he sits there and spews out crap like, I'm gonna win the most Super Bowls in my lifetime. Shut up, dude. You haven't
Well,
even
guess what,
whiffed.
buddy? You have like 5 years left to win
You
three to
haven't
make that
even
goal happen.
whiffed. Well,
Four.
Jerry,
He'd have to win four
Or, oh
in
yeah,
order to
he
get
has
the
to win
most.
four
you haven't
to
even
hit
whiffed
most.
the
Yep.
championship game, and you have an MVP caliber quarterback. You've had the most consistent quarterback play out of most teams with Dak since 2016, and you haven't done anything. I don't.
Honest, they can't call plays for shit, and the
Well,
defense
hold
hasn't been
on
that
there.
great.
Hold on there. Schottenheimer's a good play caller.
Yeah, Schottenheimer.
That's
I
true.
actually won't put that
Offensively,
on him. Offensively, we improved with Shoddy and the new OC. I like that a lot. There were some times Shoddy was spotty, spotty. But it really falls back to your defense is giving up 470 yards a game, and uh, is the first time we've ever given up over 500 collective points in a season. So, yeah, historically bad. And they're throwing some names out there. I forgot what was his name. Jim Leonhard from the Broncos. They said they were interviewing him. I would actually like that. He's the Broncos' assistant head coach, and he's also their defensive passing game coordinator. I'd like him. They're trying to get the. They're not talking to Brian Flores, but they're talking to his DBs and passing game coordinator, coach on defense. Why can't I remember his name right now? But they're not talking to major names right now. And in my head, I'm also thinking like, I want Flores, obviously, or I want like heck Jonathan Gannon when he was the defensive coordinator at the Eagles. He was great. I'd take a Gannon. But if we
yeah.
do go with one of the smaller names, Leonhard would be my first choice. Like he is good. He's got that Broncos defense where it needs to be. Or they give Al Harris a look because Al Harris went to Chicago and turned that secondary around in 1 year. Or you look at the
Uh,
secondaries coach for Seattle. He's really good too. But
Todd
Mhm.
Bowles looking for a job too,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
right? And he's a great defensive coach.
Again, Jerry's going
Uh,
to strong arm his coach and not let Shoddy pick his coach. So we'll see where that goes. And then if they restructure some stuff, we should have an off season where we can bring in more pieces to the defense. That's all I want to say about the Cowboys. Matt Eberflus is gone. I'm happy. Clemson's hitting the portal. My football's been actually good right now. Oh my God,
wait,
Mendoza.
hold on.
No,
Did,
okay.
did the actually did the Buccaneers get rid of Bowles or is he still there?
I think he's still there right
I
now.
believe he's still
I
there.
believe he's still there.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
I
I
think they
thought that
parted
they
ways with their
had.
DC, right? Yes.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think they
Okay,
parted ways with their defense coordinator. Um,
gotcha.
but no, you have the Raiders looking for head coach. I sent a meme to Clayton earlier today. It was like, if I had a
Hmm.
nickel for every time Geno Smith got Pete Carroll fired, I'd have two nickels.
That's true.
um, the Raiders. Oh man, I don't even know who you go for if I'm the Raiders. Honestly, if I'm the Raiders, I would go for
Do you
probably.
have to draft Mendoza? I mean, like,
You can. I mean, you can draft Mendoza. You could do anything you want. You got the first
yeah, but
overall
I think
pick.
it's also like I don't know if they have the. The you have to draft a quarterback because you need a quarterback. But
Yes.
also, if you don't have the rest of the team and you draft a quarterback, the quarterback's not going to help you because you don't have the team around the quarterback.
Well, get
You know, like
Mendoza and
Hmm.
get a decent head coach, and then you start from there. I mean, you got a whole offseason to
yeah.
fix what you need. It's
But I think a lot of teams will draft a quarterback that might be the guy, but because the team's not very good, they struggle for a couple years, and then they drop the quarterback because it's like he's not panning out. It's like, well, how do you know he's not panning out?
yeah,
You know, like
I don't agree. I really don't agree with that, Chris. If you see the guy and you think he's going to be the guy, you go get the guy. That's it. That's all you do.
no,
That's why the
I
Giants
know I
traded up and
agree,
got Dart.
but so often like teams will give up on who they believe is the guy after like two bad seasons. You know?
Oh, it's also a scheme fit. So like
Yeah.
Darnold never fit in the Jets. He barely fit in with the Panthers, and then he gets to
Touchdown
the
Indiana.
O'Connell system, and he fits there, and then he gets into the EJ Williams Jr. Touchdown Indiana, former Clemson player. Hey, bud.
Yep.
Um,
Boo.
man, I
How
feel
you
bad
doing,
for
bud?
Oregon, dude. They're those poor
Yeah,
fans who
that
traveled all
recently
the
they showed
way to
Oregon
watch
fans.
this game, and they're just getting belted again.
41-7. Wow.
Is this going to be consistent for Dan Lanning? Like 2 years in a row
We'll
now.
see.
But okay, back to what we're talking about. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think he
Sam
can make those.
Darnold.
Or if
Yeah.
you don't want to draft a quarterback this year and you want to wait till a stronger quarterback class, you can trade that first pick and let someone else get who they want. Like who else needs quarterback? Like I mean the Jets. If the Jets decide they trade up and want a quarterback, I think Mendoza would go to the Jets. But don't no, they didn't fire their head coach. They just they're a mess.
Yeah, they're giving him
We
another
can talk
shot.
about the Jets. Well, it's his first year. He took over a bad
Yeah.
team. It's not going to change around in
Zero
a single year.
interceptions.
Well, I say that, but then you watch Vrabel and Ben Johnson turn their teams around in a single year.
Yep.
But most of the time, it's
It
not
is
going
the
to happen.
Jets, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Jets. But other than that, I mean, you got a lot of vacancies. You got the Falcons. I think they're an alluring job. Honestly, you, you just they're searching for their GM first, so I haven't heard much from the Falcons. Look, and I know the Dolphins just took the player personnel from the Packers. So he's their new GM, and he'll be trying to find his new coach and everything else like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's there's a lot. It's we gotta wait for these news to roll in and see what's happening, see who they interview, and go through that type of process. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's
You
time.
want to
Let me shoot off the Planet Pick 6 real
pick six?
quick. I
Cool.
did fill that out. Let me get back
Yep.
to where I had it
You
written
sure
down.
did.
I did fill that out. So
Yep. It's at the bottom of the outline. Yeah.
this is gonna be quick. Best win of the Steelers. You got in, made the playoffs. Good win. I think the worst loss was the 49ers. You had a shot to win your division and take a first seed with a bye, and you just sputtered out right there. But the Seahawks are a great team. Best QB performance, baby. I get it's the Jets, but Mitchell Trubisky,
4 touchdowns.
22 for 26, 259, and 4 touchdowns. I'm going to give it to you because you came in, you played a good game to end the season. Not much else to really talk
Good for you,
about.
Mitch.
Good for you, Mitch. Worst coaching decision, Jerry bitch ass Jones.
He's not even the coach.
I know. I'm just wanted to put him there. It's I'm gonna commandeer it as the worst GM decision. It's waiting so long to fire Eberflus and then strong arming the coaching hires again and saying stupid stuff every single time you open your mouth. Okay. Um, under the radar. No one. It's the playoffs. No one's under the radar. We're at that time of the
Everybody's
year where
good.
there are no under the radar teams. We are in the playoffs. It's playoff time.
Yeah, I can think of one team that's over the radar though.
Uh, Now, I don't really want to say my upset watch because it's going to sound
It's not no
extremely.
longer on
It's
upset
going to be
watch.
extremely stupid, and I only put it because these were two I thought even teams, and they had an even game earlier in the year. It was Indiana. Now it's not Indiana because they are
It is
putting
no
the
longer
absolute
Indiana
butt
for
whooping,
sure.
absolute
Yeah, the
butt
score is
whooping.
currently 42
Yeah,
to 7.
Belt
belt.
to ass.
All right,
Yeah.
hot takes. Let's go over our hot takes real quick. Um, let's see. What do
Yeah.
I want to
I
make
feel
my
like
hot
this is
take
this
this
is a
week?
fun time for hot takes because they're not so hot anymore. Because if it's like, oh, a
Yeah,
playoff team beat another playoff team, wow, who could have seen that
All
coming?
right, I got
right.
mine. I'm ready.
But I think I got
Go,
mine.
Riley. Let's hear it.
All right. I think the Jaguars win comfortably over the Bills.
Fuck, that was
I.
mine.
Oh shit. I
It's fine.
mean,
No, keep going. I'll think of another one. I'll think of
no.
another one.
I don't think that's the hottest take.
You can be the instance where we have the same hot take because you're not like a every week person. So if you want to stay that,
Fair, 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 fair.
I'll switch mine over and let you have the Jaguars comfortably beat the Bills, and I'll switch mine to something else.
Well, I can think of something else if I don't know.
No,
We'll
no,
see.
go ahead. I'll let you take that
I'll
one.
be special and do two. I'll be
I'll
special and
let you
do
take
two
that
just in
one.
case. Okay.
Sorry, my dog's barking, so Chris, go ahead while I mute my mic.
Chee chee.
Oh, Oregon about to score.
Ah. Okay. What's your hot
What?
take, Chris?
Hot take? Hmm. I have a few. I'm gonna run something down. for the
Just one.
listeners. All right.
Just.
Uh, I know. No, I'm not talking
We're
about.
not having
I
a
don't have a few
situation
hot
where we
takes.
argue in the Planet Football Goons group chat over
No,
if you
no,
get
no.
two.
I don't have a few. I don't have a few hot takes. I'm only gonna give one. I just want to clarify before we get in here. Okay. You know, the way I think of I pick these. Sometimes I don't necessarily like believe that my hot take is true.
Guys, I go for
That's what
what
makes it a
sounds
hot take.
stupid. I hope y'all know
Yeah.
that.
And so here's something that I definitely don't believe that I know is a hot take and I could see happening. So that's why I'm going to say it. I think the Steelers might upset the Texans.
I could see
I
it.
think that Aaron Rodgers might
I
I
could
just
see it.
I don't have confidence in the Texans offense and I think the Steelers defense is decent and that's my hot take. My hot take is that the Steelers are going to upset the Texans. I don't think it'll be like a major upset, but I think that they could win in a close game. And I think it'll be a low scoring game as well. But that's not a hot take. Like I think everybody expects it to be a low scoring game. But I think the
Yeah,
Steelers might be able to pull it off.
yeah, yeah. That's not a bad one. All right, fine. Niners belt the Eagles. There, I'll give it. You know, screw it. The
I hope so.
Niners comfortably beat the Eagles in a playoff game by 10 or more points. There's my hot take. I'm gonna put it there. Like I said, like we said, they're supposed to be hot. Like people in the comments
Yeah.
sometimes will be like, well, "This is
Yeah.
a dumb take." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's supposed to be dumb. It's not a cold take. It's not like, oh, this will happen. This is a hot take. I'm making it because I want it to hit and it's funny. So boom.
Yeah. We're
All right,
basically throwing darts at a board with a blindfold on.
all right.
Yeah.
I think that'll wrap up today's episode, boys.
All right.
It's all
Thank you
good.
for listening.
No Adam, but we had a good Clayton showing, so it was
Yeah.
nice. Good episode, everybody. Uh, Thank y'all for listening. Tune
Yeah.
in to
See you guys next week.
tune in to episode 11 next week. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. Oregon scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
Finally. Oh man.
42 to
Point.
15. Indiana's putting the
Yeah.
belt. Not really much to say about that. All right,
I'm
we're
just
gonna
glad
end
they
on that.
finally scored again.
Yep.
It's gonna be a crazy
All right.
comeback. All
Goodbye.
right, boys. Good night, guys.